What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you a video on one of the NBA's most coveted trade pieces right now, and that's Brooklyn Nets forward Dorian Finney-Smith. Before we get started, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what team do you believe will trade for the Nets forward. I have a couple teams in mind. Kind of tough, in my opinion, to really pick one team, but there are a bunch of teams out there who use the services. So let me know in the comment section down below what teams you believe will trade for Dorian Finney-Smith this offseason. And let me clarify what I said as one of the most coveted trade pieces. Obviously not the biggest name, obviously not the best player, but we can probably cement probably 5 to 10 names right now who are on the trade block. There's no debate about it. Jeremy Grant being better from the Portland Trail Blazers, clearly better. Zach LaVine, clearly better, but he can't be traded for a bag of chips right now. So it's like, he's better, but can't be moved. Teams actually want Dorian Finney-Smith. What team doesn't need or doesn't want a versatile forward who can guard from 2 to 4, maybe even 2 to 5, want to stretch it out, small ball, you know, um, pretty good 3-and-D guy. Getting up there in age, though, and I will admit, he's not the player he once was. With the Mavericks, probably 2019 to 2022 was his prime, was his best years, best defense, best shooting stroke. Now, shooting around 37, 38%. As of late, he's dropped down, even 39, I think, one of them years with the Mavericks. He's dropped down a little bit to like 33, 34 range with the Nets. So, kind of a downward spiral. He's getting a little bit older, but he still brings you some good play. He gives you the threat that some of these guys need to, shoot the ball from the corner, shoot the ball from the 3 point in general, and then brings versatility and switchability on defense. So, excuse me. So I won't be naming one particular team who I believe will be his team that he'll land on. There's so many options, so many fits, but I will name some options and teams that he could go to. Also, some players involved on the other side that the Nets could get back. So let's get into it, guys. So, um, no particular order, but let's start with what's it, New York Kings, the Sacramento Kings. And normally, how I view it is, teams want to trade out for the opposite of what they have. So the Kings, for example, I think they want to trade Kevin Herter. They brought in DeMar DeRozan, who's an offensive player, playmaker, mid-range scorer, all that good stuff as we already know, but no defense. You have Malik Monk. They brought him back. They signed him to a nice deal. Playmaker, great scorer, great offensive weapon, no defense. De'Aaron Fox, great offense. Keegan Murray, two-way guy, but he's only one guy that plays defense on the offensive starting spot. And then you have Sabonis at the center spot, no real defense. So you need an influx of defense if you're the Kings. Trading a shooter who kind of struggled last year as well, and Kevin Herter makes sense to me. You bring in Dorian Finney-Smith, you start him at the 3. Malik Monk stays your 6 man, and then the DeMar DeRozan goes down to that 2 spot. That makes sense. The floor spacing won't be the best, but you will have Smith doesn't need too many touches, doesn't need the ball at all, really. He can slash a little bit, stay in the corner, and just rely on defense at the time he's out there. Then you can know your finishing lineup will probably have DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk with Fox in that perimeter backcourt spot with Murray and Sabonis finishing out the top 5. But just for certain situations, you can have a defensive guy and pair him up with Murray, and I think that makes the most sense. Having to guard guys like Luka and Kyrie and even Clay now, the Nuggets. They have Jamal Murray, they have other guys involved, so you're gonna need more defense, and the Kings been lacking that for the last couple of years. So they got another playmaking DeMar DeRozan, but Murray needs help on the defensive side of the ball. And I think Dorian Finney-Smith to me makes the most sense. So the Kings there make a lot of sense to me. Then you have another team like the LA Lakers. They make a lot of sense. It's kind of a tough fit. And anywhere you go right now, honestly, for Dorian Finney-Smith, it's going to be a tough, clunky fit. A bunch of forwards who kind of give you similar things. The Lakers, they have Rui as of right now, who's an offensive scorer, but really not that much defense. Then you have on the flip side his teammate, Jared Vanderbilt, all defense, no offense. So, it's kind of tough to see them trade one of those guys for Finney Smith to give you the same thing, but Smith is a little bit better. than Vanderbilt as far as the shooting stroke goes. But the defensive side, I think Vanderbilt is better. He's younger, quicker feet, more aggressive, more physical than Finney-Smith is. But you have Rui, all offense, not really that much, a little bit of defense. That's not no defense, a little bit of defense. But Finney-Smith brings you better defensive and better defensive versatility than Rui does. So it's kind of tough. He's an in between guy of Rui and Vanderbilt, so they could trade two to get separate trades. I don't think you would trade both to the Nets, but or maybe you can get Cam Johnson too. Adding both those guys, Vanderbilt, Rui, and a first for Cam and Finney-Smith, not really realistic, but it's possible. You never know. They are in their rebuild. They are having a fire sale probably, so I think it makes sense. Or you can have a guard like Jordan Schifino. He makes sense. Trading him and something else to bring in Finney-Smith, and then you ship off Rui and or Vanderbilt with D'Lo somewhere else for another piece like Zach LaVine. It's possible. It's possible. So Lakers to me makes sense. Just depends on what other moves they have involved, because you don't want to have all three of those guys or even two of those guys probably on the same roster. I think if you bring in Smith, you want to get rid of Rui and Vanderbilt, in my opinion. That's how I would play it. But we'll see what the Lakers do. I think they're kind of going big game hunting. They want Zach. I don't know. They don't want Zach LaVine. I take that back. But they want a star player. Trey, Garland, Mitchell staying obviously. But they want someone of that ilk. But I think they might have to settle for role players like Gary Trent Jr., sign or something. Bruce Brown from the Raptors, who they wanted last year anyways. That makes sense. So we'll see what the Lakers do there. But I think their first option is going big game hunting. Jeremy Grant even. But on to the next team, you have a return to the Dallas Mavericks. I think that to me makes a lot of sense. I was on top of the table screaming when they got Kyrie Irving to keep Dorian Finney-Smith. And they did not do that. I was saying trade Hardaway instead of Dorian Finney-Smith, and I think that would have helped out long term. You never know. You can't really predict things that far in advance. But swapping out Hardaway for Finney-Smith in this playoff run would have made a lot of sense. No, because Hardaway didn't have that much impact anyways. I think Finney-Smith would have had a great impact with this Mavericks team. But they could do so now and rewrite history and change history. No, I can't. Not excuse me. I take it back. Not rewrite history, but change the future and bring in Finney-Smith now, pairing with Clay, Luka, Kyrie. They got other guys similar vein to Finney-Smith and Marshall from the Pelicans. They brought him in. They lost Derek Jones, so I think bringing in Finney-Smith, probably trading him for Max Kleber makes a lot of sense. Every time they put in, I know they love Kleber there, but every time they put in Kleber, he gets worked on defensively. He gets picked on, can't stay in front of nobody. He's not a shot blocker, not really a great rebounder either. He's just a shooter for the most part, and I think swap him out for Finney-Smith, who's less of a shooter. He can shoot, obviously, but not a better shooter than Kleber, in my opinion. But the defense is definitely better. The rebounding is a little bit better as well. I think that gives the Mavs more versatility, obviously pairing him with Marshall in certain points, him and PJ, him and Lively Gafford. The list goes on how you can pair it up, how you can make it work. Small ball five if you need to, so I think taking out Kleber for Finney-Smith makes a lot of sense. I know Kleber is liked in Dallas, but you want to win, you need defense. And you brought in Clay, who's no defense now. Luka, as we know, no defense. Kyrie, no defense. So he tried the first half of the playoffs. Second half kind of got a little rough on him. But I think bringing in Finney-Smith to the Mavs make a lot of sense, in my personal opinion. Return to Dallas makes a lot of sense. Now, next up, going to the Philadelphia 76ers. They've made a lot of moves this offseason, a lot of forwards as well, a lot of forwards on their roster. But they did lose some guys, so I think bringing in Paul George, Kelly Oubre, Martin, one of the twins. I don't know which one, Caleb or the other one, but they brought in Martin, who's a good player as well. All guys are good, but you need some more depth as well, in my opinion. And bringing in Finney-Smith adds to that. PG. I know he was healthy this past year, played in 70-something games, 76 games, but you're going to need a backup plan. And Oubre could slide into that 3 spot. You're going to need someone to back him up if need be. And also just another rotational piece. And Finney-Smith could be that guy for me brings defense, brings shooting, brings floor spacing. And if PG is out, if Embiid is out, you're gonna need more from Maxi, more from PG. No, it depends on who's out at what given time. Because PG and Embiid both are health risks. So that's the biggest downfall of that PG move. Him and Embiid, if all three can, him and Maxi and Embiid can stay healthy, they're awesome. But the chances of PG and MB staying healthy are slim to none. And they could be out at the same time. You never know. Lord willing, to both stay healthy. But just going off of odds and history, is going to be most likely they'd be out at the same time at some given point. PG shoulder, knee, something. And Joel Embiid is back, knee, lower body stuff. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully they can stay healthy. But if not, you're gonna need pieces around Maxi or whoever else is available. PG and B, and you're gonna need to space the floor. You need defense, and I think Finney-Smith makes the most sense there. And he's a good backup plan behind PG, behind Kelly Oubre, and the list goes on. So I think Finney-Smith to Philly makes sense. They've been loading up on guys. Brought back Kyle Lowry, the kid from Duke, the TikTok guy. He's good though. We laugh at him and joke with him and stuff, but he's a good player. It's just funny seeing the new style. And I'm not even old. I'm 28, but seeing the new young guys now coming in the league doing TikToks and doing their own social media thing is funny. We didn't grow up on that, but he is a good player. So you're gonna need guys around all those guys and more depth in playoffs. You're gonna need veterans who know how to win, and I think Finney-Smith can definitely bring you that good tools to win, good IQ, good defense. Makes sense for the Sixers and their hopeful long playoff run next season. Then you have other teams as well, like the Cavaliers, who's our next team. The Cavaliers make a lot of sense. Trading one of my favorite signing, trading Isaiah Okoro. I think that's how you say his last name. Who hasn't really panned out how I thought. He came out of Auburn, 3-and-D guy, but the three was missing, and the three never came. Now I've been in the league for a while now. The 3-point ball still hasn't came yet. So you trading him, sign and trade him potentially for the Nets for Dorian Finney-Smith makes sense. You get longer, you get more experience, you get better shooting, and kind of give you the same defense. So both players cut. Both players give you defense, but Finney-Smith is longer, taller, and more flexibility on defense, more switchability, and better shooting. So I think the Cavs could do that move and bring in Finney-Smith. The jury's still out on what they're going to do with the roster as a whole. Keep Jared Allen, trade Jared Allen, keep Darius Garland, trade Garland. The report was after the season, as soon as the season ended for the Cavs in the playoffs, they lost to the Celtics, if I'm not mistaken. The rumor was it's either Mitchell or Garland. Mitchell re-signed long-term. Obviously, he's staying. So I guess Garland's going to be out sometime soon. The Magic trade could be happening. The him into Lakers could be happening. So we'll see. But right now, it's it's really went super quiet on that front. But I did a video on it. Check the channel out. As soon as the season ended, the Cavs beat writers got to work in ASAP. So they're gonna need guys around Mitchell who can shoot and defend, and I think Finney-Smith makes the most sense there. A dark horse team I like a lot, that's not mentioned in the Dorian Finney-Smith sweepstakes, is the Denver Nuggets. I know he's not a guard. He's not what KCP is. KCP is a 2 for the most part, but he gives you similar traits that KCP does. No ball handling, but defense and 3-ball, and you don't need that. Especially now. You saw last year what Ant did to you guys. Explosive, athletic guy. Look, Finney-Smith won't shut him down. He won't lock him up, but he gives you another option with Christian Braun, with Aaron Gordon, someone to switch on him, someone to give him some fits, give him a different look. Just try, But right now, you have no one on defense that I know of on that roster. Michael Porter Jr. can't do it. You need someone to stay in front of Ant, stay in front of Luka. Stay with these guys. And Finney-Smith, like I said, who's not KCP, but KCP got burnt by Ant Edwards too, so it doesn't make a difference. But you're gonna need someone who can give you some length, defense, shooting, and all contenders need that for except for probably the Celtics probably, and the Knicks. They have enough already, but as of right now, I think most contending teams need a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith, so that they can come in and give you some reliable minutes from a veteran who can pop a three and play defense all night long, nonstop, and that's really going to be his role wherever he goes. Might not start, might play 15, 20 minutes a game, maybe even that. But when he does come in, you're expected to play not lockdown, but you're supposed to play team defense, stay in front, help defense, a block or two here, steal two there, and pop a three here and there, and make some of them. And that's really his role. And these contending teams need that. So I think the Nuggets make sense. The Lakers make sense. Cavs, Mavericks, Kings, possibly, if they get off Herter. But also, I said this earlier as well. Normally, teams want to switch shooting for defense and defense for offense, but some teams might want to switch shooters for shooters. So some of these teams could also want could instead want Cam Johnson instead of wanting Dorian Finney-Smith. The Kings could easily say, okay, we got Herter, he's struggling. Let's get some new shooting in here in Cam Johnson. Cam can shoot, Cam can cut to the basket, so that they could easily swap him out for Cam Johnson and not worry about Dorian Finney-Smith. The Lakers could want Cam Johnson and not want Rui. They kind of give you, I think Rui's more offensive inclined, better ball handler, better playmaker, better mid-range game, all that stuff can drive in too. But they might want a different look and trade him for Cam Johnson. Same for the Sixers, same for the Nuggets, same for who else I mentioned, the Cavs. Might want to trade Okoro, sign and trade him for Cam Johnson instead of Dorian Finney-Smith, and want just shooting around Mitchell. So it makes sense. A lot of things make sense. A lot of options. Corey Kispert from the Wizards could be available. He's someone I like a lot as well. So it just depends. Just depends on what teams' wants and needs are. And you can't really dictate that or know that until the trade actually happens, because the rumors are everywhere. The rumors are widespread. They want him. They want that. They want this. And they end up getting something totally different. So we'll see where it goes with Dorian Finney-Smith and this and the Nets team. But I do like him. Probably, if I were to guess, I would say return to the Mavs makes sense. Makes the most sense. They need defense badly. Got Marshall. Got Quinn Grimes as well. I forgot about him. But trading him for Max Kleber, trading Dorian Finney-Smith for Max Kleber to me is a lovely move, an easy move as well for the Mavs. They just did a trade for Finney-Smith a couple years ago in the Kyrie deal, so they have a repertoire together of not repertoire. They have a rapport together that they moved a big trade a couple years ago. I think a small trade like this, Kleber for Dorian Finney-Smith, makes sense. Should be easy, So we'll see where it goes, though. Another dark horse team could be in the mix as well. So, but we'll see. NBA off seasons are always fun. Off seasons for most sports are always fun. Switches, trades, returning back to certain places. Weird fits, good fits. I've seen a lot of weird fits this off season. I'm gonna talk about in another video, giving my whole recap for free agencies and trading and all that stuff. Probably coming next week. I want to wait for Gary Trent, these guys to sign first, but it could take some time. But that's it for the video, guys. Enough rambling for now. Check out the channel. Check out the social media handles, the same everywhere at Stats Free Sports, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, all the same handle at Stats Free Sports. So that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.